precious, you bitch.
One thing I had to learn as I've gotten older is you don't owe anybody your time. You don't. You don't owe your father your time. You don't owe your mother your time. You don't owe your brother or your sister your time or your energy. You don't owe your neighbor, the one that always comes by complaining about her husband. You don't owe her your time. You don't owe that lady at church your time, the one that's always complaining about her life but never looks to change anything. I had to learn almost after 41 years of life that I do not owe somebody my time just because they're a family member. This video is going to be about dealing with negative people. My name is Kevin Robinson Jr. I am a 40-year-old man and I live in Los Angeles. And the reason I'm here is because I'm here to give you some life lessons that I've learned along the way in almost 41 years of my life. I come from a very loyal family. My mom's side is extremely loyal, super supportive, and very, very conservative in their family views. My family is so nice and sweet that we've taken a lot of family pictures, right? Grandparents, my mom, uncles and aunts and cousins and stuff. And every picture, there might be a family member's best friend there. And this is about 4 or 5 pictures since I've been a kid. There's always just some like random person in the picture. Like, oh, so-and-so's best friend is here, get in the picture type of shit, and it's just been kind of a signature on my mom's side where it's like, oh, so-and-so's best friend, or oh, so-and-so's girlfriend, or so-and-so. And none of these people are around anymore, but it's just like, that's just how my family is on my mom's side. And one thing that I have gained, or one thing that I have been taught from my mom's side is you got to be very supportive of people. It's a good trait because you're nice and you're cool. And mind you, this side of my family is extremely religious. But the thing is, you open yourself up for energy vampires. When you're so kind and sweet, you open yourself up for leeches. People that are looking for a host to drain. People that are looking to complain about their lives. When somebody that's a complainer finds someone that is empathetic to their situation, they're going to continue to complain about where they are in their life over and over and over and over and over again. Just because that's how they do things, right? And I used to do that. I would listen to people talk about how fucked up their life is and all the things that are going on. And I would genuinely give a fuck. I did. I genuinely cared. And I would try to help them out as best as I could. And sometimes I put myself behind the 8 ball, trying to help somebody else. I put myself in situations where trying to help somebody else financially impacted me in a very negative way. I have definitely done that. And it's a learned trait. I've seen people on my mom's side do it. But I'm saying all that to say this. At a certain point, you get tired of getting burned. At a certain point, you get tired of getting used. And in my 30s, I cut off a lot of old friends. And I wish them well. If you're watching this video and me and you don't talk anymore, I wish you well. I do. I hope you find happiness and gratitude and all that good shit. But we grew apart and that's fine. It's like life. People grow apart. But there are people in my family as well that are negative. And I can speak about negativity because I was a pretty negative person in my early 20s. I was extremely negative. I'm not going to say pretty. Let's not put a gloss on it. Let's put a heavy gloss on it. I was extremely negative in my early 20s. I was a very emotional young man. I did not handle my emotions. I used to lash out at people. I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. It was a learned behavior by a family member. And at a certain point, I started holding myself accountable for where I was and who I was as a man. You don't really become a man until you can look in the mirror and hold yourself accountable for everything you've done in your life. Everything. You quit blaming the system. You quit blaming the government. You quit blaming your mom, blaming your dad, blaming your baby mama, blaming your dad, whatever. Once you stop bitching and complaining, you look in the mirror like, look, man, I'm fucked up because I made bad decisions. So that's when you become a man. And some men are walking around this earth right now, 40 years old, 50, 60, and they don't hold themselves accountable for a damn thing they do. I've had to learn as I've gotten older that just because someone is in my family, or just because somebody is in my sphere and I can't necessarily just cut them off, I don't have to deal with them. Now, I know for some of you, cutting people off, that's just something you're not going to do. You feel like, hey, that's just how my auntie is, or that's just how this one friend is, or that's just how this one person is. And you start counting the years. You start counting the years of how long you've known somebody. Oh, I've known this person 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years. They always been this way. But when you count the years, how many of those years were quality for you? If you were empathetic like me when I was younger, and I still have some empathy for people, but once you start talking about all your bad shit and I give you advice one time and you don't take it, because I understand you're not going to take everything I tell you, but if you ask me for my advice, indirectly, because if somebody calls you bitching and whining about their life, especially money problems, because a lot of people that know me directly, you know that I came from nothing, negative to positive, zero. You feel me? I was a person who shared a fucking room with his mother in his grandmother's house, sharing bunk beds for the first couple of years of my life, my nigga. You dig? Seriously. So when I think about broke, I know what broke is. So when people ask me about money and how can I get out of the situation, I give them advice. I'm only going to give it to you one time. That's it. And if you don't take it, then it's like, all right, well, figure it out. Some people, and this is something that I've learned, man. It's a good thing to listen to people's problems, but understand this: the longer you listen to somebody's problems, it'll start to rub off in your life. I don't want to hear about your struggle. I'm at a place in my life I do not want to hear about your struggle. If I give you advice on how you can make your life better, and you don't take it the first time, then I don't really want to talk to you until you make your life better. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a sounding board. I'm not any of that. And neither are you. You are nobody's therapist. You are nobody's sounding board. At a certain point, you just get tired of getting used. And it took me almost 41 years to realize that I've heard this, that I'm one of the most supportive people that people know. Because when I really dig something, like I'm extreme. So there is no, oh, it's okay. No. It's either I love it or it's just like, this shit's bullshit. So if I love something, I want to see it grow like a redwood fucking tree. I want to see that motherfucker get big and strong, right? And it's just some people that come into your life. They come into your life to complain. And they come into your life to just talk about themselves. If you got somebody in your life right now, family member, a friend, and really you kind of get used to their dysfunction, right? You get used to their dysfunction. You get used to your narcissistic father. You get used to your narcissistic brother. You get used to your drug addict best friend And you start to just, oh, well, that's just how they are. And you deal with this abuse, because that's what it is. When somebody calls you and they just talk about themselves and what they're going through, and they only call you when they need money, and they only call you when they want to talk about themselves, and you know everything about them, but they don't know a fucking thing about you. Nothing. They don't care. They call you every now and then to talk about themselves, and when they do ask you, how you doing? They don't give a fuck. You know they don't. That's just kind of a half-assed way of like, oh, let me kind of throw this out here so I can talk about myself. And then the times you have said, oh, well, you know, I'm doing this, this, and this. And then they want to one-up you. Oh, man, I lost 15 pounds. Oh, yeah, I lost 23. You know, at a certain point, you get tired of dealing with negativity. And I'm at a place in my life right now where almost 41 years old, I can no longer have anyone in my life who is not going to give me a 50-50 friendship or a relationship, whether that be family member or a friend. If it's not 50-50 mutual, then I don't want you in my life, period. And if you're watching this video and you're at a point right now where you have somebody in your life that is taking full advantage of you, of your time and your energy, they don't believe in the boundaries. They think that you're just supposed to answer the phone every time you call, every time they call you. You're just supposed to drop everything you're doing for them. You're just supposed to give them your money, your time, your energy, your resources. If this person calls you and every time you see their name across your screen, you feel depleted, that's the number one indicator you're dealing with someone negative in your life. Now, some of these times people are going through some shit and they can outgrow it, right? And you feel like as a friend or as a good brother or as a good husband or as a good whatever, I need to stick around. That's different. If it's a situation like that, it's been a couple of years, couple of months. Your best friend's going through a divorce, or their mother passed away, or anything extreme like that. But I'm talking about people that have specifically been energy vampires to you, that you've known 10, 20, 30 fucking years. This person has been nothing but trying to use you like an emotional fucking tampon. They bleed all over you with their bullshit. They treat you like a fucking Spalding. And they bully you and they think you're just supposed to take it. At certain points, you got to say no. Those phone calls got to be cut short. When you're dealing with somebody negative, because when I used to be negative, I understood a lot of people left my life because I was negative. I used to judge people. I used to say, oh, if you do this, you that. And it was a learned trait, a generational curse from one of the most negative people I ever met in my fucking life, by far. When I became self-aware and I looked around at my life and said, look, my life is fucked up. I'm 30 pounds overweight. I don't have any money. I'm trying to figure out this career thing. This is me at like 22. Once I became self-aware, my life got better. You have to let these negative people figure it out. You do. It's one thing for it to be a season and this person was really a great person in the very beginning and now they're going through something and you feel like, hey, well, let me try to help them out. You can give people advice, but it's up for them to take it. You can offer your help, but it's up for them to take it. I will only offer you help one time, but once you don't do it, I don't want to deal with it. Okay? I'm gonna tell you something. One thing that narcissistic people love to do is once they realize they have zero control over the person that they're trying to keep abusing, is they'll try to control their narrative of them to other people. And I know what I'm talking about because I have narcissistic people in my family who believe that they can do no wrong. All right. So what did we learn today? When you're dealing with somebody negative, especially somebody in your family, I don't care if it's a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, or uncle. Distance yourself away from them as soon as you can. And do not feel like you have to deal with them just because they're a family member. I know these things are hard to hear, but these are just facts of life.
The world's freshest you.